friends, it's Katie, and wanted to talk to you today about life after alcohol addiction and the Sinclair Method, because I want to kind of raise awareness to something that I've been going through lately, and I've talked to some others who have been on TSM a while and they're experiencing it as well, and just to kind of, raise awareness to it and get a conversation going and just to share really something I've been experiencing and going through. So when I started on the Sinclair Method 14 months ago, my whole goal was to really just moderate my drinking. I'd wanted to be a moderate drinker, but couldn't figure out how to do it on my own. I was really stuck in this cycle of alcohol addiction and dependence and totally living like a mediocre life because of it. So I really just started it to be able to moderate my drinking, and it worked for me so tremendously just after a few months of getting going. And now 14 months in, I reached extinction at 8 months. I'm at a point now where alcohol is just kind of this pointless thing in my life, and I don't, I'm kind of looking at whether I even want to continue drinking. But what's happened, I used to use alcohol a lot to numb out, pretty much on a daily basis. I would feel insecure, I would feel bad about my work, I would feel bad about myself, whatever, name it, whatever it is. We all have this kind of like internal suffering and conflict that we go through quietly in ourselves. I really feel that way. And so for so long, I was using alcohol on a daily basis to numb out. And so those feelings and those behaviors and thoughts, they were there, but I was kind of like comfortably numb and not really dealing with them. But now that I'm sober pretty much all the time nowadays, those feelings are still there. And while I've developed some healthy coping mechanisms for these things, it doesn't always resolve them. And in fact, sometimes they'll linger for a while. But I really feel like what's happening is I'm having to go through this experience of really facing these uncomfortable emotions, and for the first time in my life to really heal them and deal with them in a way that isn't me numbing out and checking out. And I just want to raise awareness to this point, because I think people, a lot of people who are stuck in an alcohol addiction, there's a lot of underlying things driving us to drink, from our past, from our own insecurities and lack of self-worth, our own disbelief in ourselves. And especially if you have been wrapped up in addiction for a while, there's probably a lot of emotions and struggles and things that you haven't fully dealt with. And so while it's been absolutely life-changing and amazing for me to have this addiction removed from my system, it's also been a little bit of a challenge lately. Like, the more sober I get, the less I rely on alcohol, the more I realize there's things that I have to kind of deal with and face and cope. So I just want to, set this expectation and get the word out there, and maybe start a conversation if you want to comment below on your experience. Just because as you get more sober and you stop using alcohol as a resource anymore, you start to face things, and it's not always comfortable. And in fact, you might have to go out and get help, get a counselor, get support, go through these hard times to really start to heal yourself. I feel like when we remove the alcohol dependence, that's just like the starting line for really doing real healing and work on ourselves in this life. And I used alcohol a lot just to numb out and to kind of escape these uncomfortable feelings, to keep myself comfortably numb for a really long time. And I'm not doing that anymore. And so the experience I've been feeling is a lot more joy, a lot more just reverence for life, like so happy to be alive, for this opportunity to exist and to really relate to people, especially on this channel, who have also suffered with alcohol dependence, and share stories and learn from each other. So I've been so grateful and joyful because of the Sinclair Method and having this addiction removed. But at the same time, I've also felt like really deep sadness, like more than I've ever felt before. And it's because I'm not numbing out on alcohol. It's like I have this ability now to feel more extreme emotions, I guess, and just kind of want to share that and get that out there. And I'm sure, I know there are people that can relate. I've had some conversations with fellow TSMers on this, and it's really beautiful, but it's something to be prepared for, and to you know, not be shocked if this happens to you as well. The more sober you get, it's so beautiful and so enriching and so enlivening, but it's also this thing where, you know, I was using alcohol, as I've said, to numb out for so long, and I'm not doing that anymore. So there's these new things coming up that I just have never dealt with that I'm facing now. And so just to kind of prepare yourself for that, if you're starting out on the Sinclair Method or you're going through this yourself, I'm just curious if you are, if you want to comment below. Yeah, it's been a really enriching and also kind of challenging experience, but in a way where I feel like I'm really transforming and growing and becoming more true to myself and who I am. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please like it below, subscribe for more TSM videos, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.